Right guys, and welcome to the BFW Awards, and I don't think I've actually ever made a YouTube video on the BFW Awards in the past, over the last few years of doing the Pic-Fed, but this year I thought, you know what, I'll make a video and you guys can vote in the comments your winners of each category, which I'm going to go through. So yeah, just a quick video, and then next week I will announce the winners. But I must say, before the video starts and I get into spoilers, make sure you go and watch the BFW Survivor Series before you watch this video, and same with the Lights Out match, same with any Pic-Fed this year anyway, but mainly Survivor Series since that was the most recent. But yeah, go check that out before I get into this. I do just want to give a quick shout out to @not_Johnny for making these amazing graphics, and he'll probably make a few more shows in the future because I absolutely love them. He made the ones for Survivor Series, which were great as well. So yeah, go check out @not_Johnny over on Instagram. So yeah, I've got 6 categories here, and I'm going to give you guys the nominees, and you can vote in the comments. You can just leave a comment with each category, then who you're voting for. Or just who you're voting for, because some people are nominated a couple times, but it's in different sections and they group with other people and everything. You'll get what I mean in a moment. So just write what or who you think will win each category, preferably as you're watching this, so as I go through the order. So yeah, get ready. We're going to be kicking it off with the Superstar of the Year award. Now this one was really hard for me to decide who to put in the nominees, and I tried to, for each award, to get 3 from Raw and 3 from SmackDown. Which is what I've done here, I believe. So yeah, a lot of great superstars achieved a lot in BFW this year, but I've narrowed it down to 6. First of all, Brock Lesnar, who returned at BFW Battleground and won the world title at Summerslam in a big way, and since then, he's just in a path of destruction. Since the end of August, start of September, he's beat Pete Dunne, recently beat Sami Zayn, beat Apollo for the title. So yeah, Brock Lesnar absolutely undefeated this year. Next, we have the boy Apollo, of course. Apollo's had a great year. He's kick-started it off by lasting from number 1 all the way to the end to win the Royal Rumble, to main eventing WrestleMania, to win the world title, then proceeded to defeat Shawn Michaels, Seth Rollins, then fell to Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, would then get assaulted by Batista after SummerSlam, where he's just been getting attacked by Batista, when Batista explained his actions at Survivor Series, kinda. So yeah, Apollo nevertheless had a great year, had a great run in the first half of the year, but now he's kind of, he's still up there in a big storyline, but he's just, he's not in the title picture anymore. But will he be soon? And up next we have Randy Orton, who debuted a new faction with FTRKO. He hasn't been seen since Armageddon in February, then showed up at Backlash and laid out Undisputed Era, punted Adam Cole's head in, taking him out for months, then would run over the rest of UE, Undisputed Era, in an ambulance, and would then go on to defeat Daniel Bryan for the world title at SummerSlam, and would defend it at Vengeance against Bryan. Would unfortunately lose it at Survivor Series by RKOing Bryan onto Cole, which led into some other stuff which I'll get into. But yeah, he wasn't pinned or anything like that, but great year for Orton right there. And then we have Roderick Strong, who actually got added into this last, mainly because, he had a sick run with the Cruiserweight title. He's been Cruiserweight champion since WrestleMania. He had a great showing in the Rumble. He won last year's Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, but that doesn't come into it. But this year he's running for Superstar of the Year. He might have been Breakout Superstar last year. I'm not too sure. But he had a great run with the Cruiserweight Championship. Beat Daniel Bryan once. He beat Cruiserweight Classic winner Gran Metalik. He would then go on to lose it to Tyler Bate, but then win it back at Survivor Series, thanks to the Undisputed Era. And then we have Pete Dunne, who was on an absolute tear at the start of the year, year's US champion, which he won at Survivor Series last year. Would enter the Rumble and last a while. Yeah, he would defeat Shinsuke Nakamura at WrestleMania, defending the US title, and would then go on to challenge Brock for the world title at Halloween Havoc after winning the Casino ladder match at SummerSlam, and would then be part of the 5-on-5 match at Survivor Series. So, big year for Dunne again. And finally, Adam Cole, who was BFW World Champion for a lot of the year, until Orton injured him, of course, and has recently went in for his rematch at Survivor Series, and unfortunately lost, but, we all know what happened there. Turned on Daniel Bryan, bringing in Roderick Strong, and yeah, Adam Cole looking stronger than ever now. Will he get his title back one day? Maybe. He did defeat John Cena at the Rumble. He defeated Mustafa Ali and Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania. So yeah, that is all for Superstar of the Year. Let me know who you guys think deserves to be Superstar of the Year, and a week from now I will do a video announcing all the winners. On to the next award, and it is for Tag Team of the Year. Adam Cole did win Superstar of the Year last year. I forgot to mention that before. But yeah, we have 4 tag teams here, mainly only 4 because I didn't want to include 8 because that would have took up a lot of room, and it's like 8 guys anyway, so, you know, who cares? And I did manage to include 1 from Raw and 3 from SmackDown. I tried to include 2 from Raw, 2 from SmackDown, but I just thought the other 3 on SmackDown outweighed any of the other ones on Raw. You know, I thought about including Dolph and Drew, but they only recently got together. So yeah. But kicking it off for the nominees, we do have Undisputed Era in Fish and O'Reilly. They have been tag champs before in the year. They either won them at Mania or carried them into Mania from the new year. And yeah, they did have to vacate them due to Orton's assault with the ambulance, but then won them back with Roderick Strong's help at Survivor Series. You know, Undisputed Era closing the year as almost champions. You know, you got Roddy as Cruiserweight champion and Undisputed Era as tag champs closing out the year. Then going into the next nominee, also from SmackDown, and it is the Revival / FTR / FTRKO, Dash and Dawson. But yeah, those guys were Raw Tag Team Champions for a lot of the year. They won them at the Rumble, I believe, from Rollins and Ambrose. And they would then go to lose them a couple months later before Mania, but would then re-debut with Randy Orton. And did well in the gauntlet, you know, got 3 eliminations, but haven't managed to recapture the tag title since then. And then onto the one and only Raw team, we do have the Young Bucks, who debuted at WrestleMania, costing Finn Balor, and would then defeat Spike and Soul at Payback for the tag titles, and have still held the tag titles since then. They've defeated Finn Balor and AJ Styles. They've defeated the War Machine recently. And they defeated Kenny Omega and Dolph Ziggler at Halloween Havoc. So yeah, Young Bucks on an absolute tear this year. And finally, the Lucha Bros, who are also a SmackDown team, who were just SmackDown Tag Team Champions, but unfortunately lost them at Survivor Series due to interference. And you know, I enjoyed filming that match a lot. But yeah, they did debut at SummerSlam in the Gauntlet as the final team, and managed to win the tag titles. So yeah, that was pretty crazy. And then they managed to knock off DIY at Vengeance, and then would just come up short, as I said, due to interference at Survivor Series. So let me know who you think here will win Tag Team of the Year, or who you want to win, that is. Up next, we have the award for Breakout Star of the Year, and these are just all superstars who made their debut this year in a big way and have managed to achieve a lot, and I've managed to put down 6 here. So yeah, you guys can let me know who you think wins this one. I think I have done 3 from SmackDown and 3 from Raw. Yeah, I just double checked. So yeah, let me know who you think will win with this one. I'll give you a brief rundown of what they've done. So kicking it off with Gran Metalik over on SmackDown. I believe he debuted earlier in the year on a BFW Live event, and then was in the Rumble. Didn't last too long. But at Mania, I don't know if he was at Mania or not. I can't really remember. It was a long time ago. But at the end of the day, he did win the Cruiserweight Classic, knocking off Mustafa Ali in the finals. Would not go on to capture the Cruiserweight Championship, unfortunately, but still had some pretty great matches in the process. And up next, we do have Buddy Murphy, who debuted at the Rumble, and you know, he competed for the Cruiserweight title at WrestleMania. I don't know if he was pinned. I don't think he was pinned for to lose. But then the next show, Payback, he did join Seth Rollins to become his first disciple. This was in May or June time. You know, costing Moxley the match, helping Rollins boot him off the cage. Would then go into a tag team match at SummerSlam against Reigns and Moxley. Since then, he hasn't really competed for any titles. You know, he's just kind of been there for Rollins. In the 5-on-5 match, he was eliminated by Eddie Guerrero, surprise entrant, and then laid Eddie Guerrero out, costing Eddie Guerrero to be eliminated in that match. Up next, we have Will Ospreay, who is the next Raw star alongside Murphy, who debuted in the Casino Ladder match as the final entrant, and would almost win. Hit a huge Spanish fly on Pac out of the ring off a ladder. That was near the end of the match, and would then defeat Pac after SummerSlam. Would start his little rivalry with the Messiah, Seth Rollins, since Pac joined Seth Rollins. And would then almost win a title match against Brock Lesnar, but was cost by the Messiah. And would then go on in the 5-on-5 match to be the sole survivor when he hit Pac with the Stormbreaker. Then out of nowhere hit Seth Rollins with the Hidden Blade to pick up the win. So, you know, Ospreay ending the year in a big way, getting his revenge. Next up, we have the Switchblade Jay White, who debuted at Armageddon, taking out Shelton Benjamin and taking his place in the match. Would then go on to earn a spot in the Money in the Bank ladder match, where he would be taken out for months by Finn Balor after a bloody Sunday off a ladder to the outside. Yes, that is as crazy as it sounds. Go back and see it. That was brutal. But yeah, then would return, cost Finn Balor his match, his revenge at SummerSlam, and would then go on to beat the Demon at Halloween Havoc, and then capture the North American Championship from Shawn Michaels at Survivor Series. So great back end of the year for Jay White. Then we have Matt Riddle, who debuted at, was it Last Stop, I believe, when he helped Keith Lee, and he helped Keith Lee and Shane McMahon, helped Shane get his job back, and would then, this feels like a lifetime ago to me, would then beat Cesaro and Sheamus at WrestleMania, and would then go on to feud with Johnny Gargano throughout the summer, and would capture the Intercontinental Championship at SummerSlam, would then defeat Bobby Lashley at, was it Vengeance, would then go on to win the Fight Pit match at Survivor Series with Lashley and Trevor Lee, / Cameron Grimes, was then laid out by Jericho after the match, so it looks like Riddle and Jericho are going into a little feud together. Then finally we do have Darby Allin, who debuted after WrestleMania in a promo calling out Aleister Black, would then go on to have an Extreme Rules match with Aleister Black with an insane coffin drop onto a glass panel, which shattered his back. Would have a pretty decent match with Andrade, had a good performance in the Casino Ladder match. Yeah, that's pretty much it for Darby Allin this year. Let me know who you think is Breakout Star of the Year in BFW. Up next, the award for Match of the Year, and this was really tough because I enjoyed a lot of the matches I filmed this year. If you go back and watch my matches earlier this year, they're way worse than the ones towards the end of the year. So, always improving, hopefully I can bring you guys some even better matches, because I've definitely got a lot of work to do. I definitely need to work on, the technical wrestling side. I'd say that's my weak point. But, sometimes I'm just like, let's just get to it, get to the fight, or whatever like that. But obviously people enjoy different things, and everyone's got their own style. But yeah, these are the matches that I thought that were worthy of Match of the Year. So starting off, we do have Roderick Strong and Gran Metalik from SummerSlam. The Cruiserweight Classic winner, Gran Metalik, takes on Roderick Strong. Roderick Strong did win this match, but I really enjoyed this match when I watched it back. I think it was like near the start of the show, but I think it almost stole the show, a lot of people said. So yeah, go check that out. And then we have Apollo versus Kenny Omega, probably one of the biggest matches of the year. Remember, everyone was so excited for it. And, Apollo finally got the big win over Omega, who said, Apollo just wasn't as good as Omega, back when Omega was, the dominant heel champ at the top. And Omega only held that belt for like 2 months, a month and a half after beating Aleister Black for it. So yeah, Apollo getting the big win at WrestleMania. Then we have another Apollo match when he took on Seth Rollins at Battleground, which I've seen a few people call Match of the Year for my Pic-Fed. And yeah, this was really fun to film at the same time, and I really do enjoy watching that back, especially with, the Moxley Reigns return at the end, and the Lesnar return at the end. Absolutely stacked, and a great match, I thought. Then we have Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton from SummerSlam, not the Vengeance match. I thought the Ambulance match at SummerSlam was a lot better than that one. As their first encounter, you had the crazy dive and headbutt off the Ambulance into an RKO. And Randy Orton picking up the win over Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan had the Undisputed Era wrestling on his shoulders, and he let it all fall off. And yeah, we know that cost him in the long run, as we saw at Survivor Series. Then we have Jon Moxley and Cody in the Lights Out match from Survivor Series. This was the most recent match. This might have gone out yesterday. Yeah, it probably went out yesterday when this has been uploaded. But yeah, very brutal. Probably the most brutal match I did this year. I almost included Aleister Black versus Darby Allin on this list, but I decided to put this one on instead. And then finally we have the triple threat match at Survivor Series, the main event. Randy Orton, Adam Cole, Daniel Bryan. I thought the story in this one was the best here out of all of them. I really enjoyed telling this story this year between Randy, Undisputed Era, Adam Cole, Daniel Bryan, the inner conflict and everything within the group. And, all finally culminating here with Randy Orton making one mistake, Bryan winning the title, getting kicked out, and then, Andrade cashing in, everything like that. So, yeah, let me know who you think wins Match of the Year, and if there's any other matches you think should have been on this list, let me know any of your personal favourites. But these are the nominees for you to choose from. The next award we do have is for Rivalry of the Year, and we got 6 nominees here. And, some people involved in the rivalry aren't in the pictures because, just based on room. And I don't think everyone is necessary for the pictures, just got the main lowdown. But, kicking off, we do have Pac and Ricochet, who had, several matches match at SummerSlam last year. And, Pac couldn't beat Ricochet. And Pac wanted his revenge this year and would lose in the 3,000 subscriber special match, which almost made it on Matches of the Year. But Pac in the 5-on-5 finally pinned Ricochet. So, kind of like a subtle storyline flowing in the background of everything throughout the year. And then we would have Kenny Omega versus Apollo, as I explained before. Kenny saying Apollo's not ready for the big time and everything. Apollo saying he's proved everyone wrong, and he did at WrestleMania. It's so hard to explain, like Pic-Fed rivalries through talking, because it just sounds so stupid, because it's just bloody action figures. But whatever, we'll move on. Then we do have Brock versus Apollo, which was a similar storyline to Kenny Apollo. Brock saying he was sat at home watching as Apollo ran the place and couldn't believe it, so he had to step in, do something about it, and he destroyed Apollo at SummerSlam, busting him open. Brock's still continuing his reign as well. And then we do have Shawn Michaels, Daniel Bryan, which was a feud towards the start of the year up until Mania, which looped round from last year's WrestleMania when Bryan turned on Shawn, joined Undisputed Era. Shawn returned at the Rumble, eliminated Bryan and himself. Had an 8-man tag at Armageddon with the Usos and Triple H on Shawn Michaels' team against the Undisputed Era. That seems so long ago again. And, Bryan and Shawn would go on to have a Falls Count Anywhere match at WrestleMania. Almost put that on Matches of the Year as well. And, they had a pretty intense fight that went backstage, went through the entrance ramp, everything like that. And, Shawn finally getting his revenge and would then go on to, win the North American Championship and the US title. So, yeah. Then we do have the whole Finn Balor, Kenny Omega storyline, which has lasted for a while now. Finn Balor was the former Bullet Club leader. Bullet Club isn't really a thing anymore. But, when it was towards the start of the year, Kenny took over. They would have a few interactions in the Rumble. It was kind of like friendly, but then also not. And then after Mania, we would learn that it wasn't Kenny who hired the Bucks to take out Balor out of the Money in the Bank. It was Cody. And, Balor blamed Kenny all the time because, he was the former Bullet Club member, didn't bring prestige to the club anymore. They lost. But he also said that about Kenny, which did end up true, which is why Cody took over the group and brought in the Young Bucks and killed the Bullet Club off. And, in amongst this, we also had AJ Styles in there, the first leader who kept warning Finn Balor about the Bullet Club. Finn Balor kept trying to trust them. It's so hard to explain in words, I'm sorry. But if you guys, lived through it, you'll know. And then we have the whole Randy Orton Undisputed Era storyline, which lasted to the back end of the year. Taking out Adam Cole in the Undisputed Era, battling Bryan, the one and only member left. Taking out the New Day at Backlash as well, before their big 6-man tag match for all the gold. And, Orton would win the title. Bryan would go to fight for it at Vengeance, where Adam Cole would return along with Undisputed Era. And then they would manage to recapture some gold at Survivor Series. But, Bryan made it his job to help Cole win the title at Survivor Series. But unfortunately, he was RKO'd onto Adam Cole. God damn it, Daniel Bryan. You had one job. And, yeah, he would go on to win the title. Adam Cole would be pissed off with Bryan to the end. And would then hit him with a last shot. Hit him with a few end of heartache. New Undisputed Era member. Orton buggers off because he's sick of his silly mistake he made in the match. And, now his reign's over. And then Andrade would cash in. So, yeah, pretty a lot of stuff there. If you guys lived through it, you'll know what I'm on about. If you didn't, I'm sorry you have to listen to all that. And the final award on this list, and I didn't want too many awards overall, so this is the last one. This was probably the hardest one to find nominees for as well, because there were a lot of shocking moments of the year. I haven't got like a full-on graphic of this. I just got a title card made, and I'm going to include pictures after this once I've got into each nominee, because I just think that'll be a lot better visually. So yeah, kicking it off, we do have the return of Brock Lesnar at Battleground. Apollo just fought a hard-fought match against Seth Rollins, and Brock Lesnar would then return to lay Apollo out and then go on to beat him for the title at SummerSlam. Then we have Will Ospreay's debut at SummerSlam. He was the number 10 entrant in that match and almost won, but I don't think a lot of people saw it coming, especially since I didn't show off the custom before then. And yeah, this was really hard to come up with nominees, to be honest. We do have Apollo Crews wins the Royal Rumble. That was at the start of the year, lasting from number 1 to number 30. I don't think anyone expected that. Then we have Pac unmasking himself as the referee to be underneath to be Pac to cost Aleister Black. Aleister Black beat him in 1 second or 3 seconds. Could be 5 because, pin and everything. I don't know. Last year at SummerSlam. So Pac finally returned after he quit as the referee. Referee got knocked out. He returned as referee, didn't make the count for Aleister Black, hit him with the title, and yeah, they were going to have a match at WrestleMania on night 1. And then we had Randy Orton and FTRKO debut to take out the Undisputed Era, hitting Adam Cole with the punt kick, making him bleed, forcing him to vacate the title, and that would lead out into that feud. Then finally we have the one at BFW Survivor Series most recently. After Bryan accidentally won the title, Adam Cole kicks him out along with new member Roderick Strong, hitting him with loads of moves. And then Andrade would capitalise on that and cash in his money in the bank to win the world title to close out the year. So yeah, guys, that is it for the awards today. Sorry this video is way longer than I thought, but be sure to cast your votes in the comments below. I may make a post over on Instagram just to make it a bit simpler and count votes over there, because I understand not everyone can watch. Jesus, this is a 21-minute video of me talking about figure awards. I don't know what I'm doing, but yeah, leave your votes in the comments below. And yeah, I'll make a video next week. Hopefully I might make a video, pretty sure I will, announcing the winners. So yeah, look forward to that, and I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Thank you for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, go check out Survivor Series if you haven't. Too late, you've just heard all the spoilers probably. But yeah, see you guys in tomorrow's video.